Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the latest edition of our digital newsletter. There's quite a bit in the newsletter this week, so I look forward to hearing some feedback and giving you an opportunity to see some of the wonderful things that are happening at your college. First of all, from myself, 2026 we'll see there'll be some subtle changes to the college uniform. I guess the main thing I want to stress is that there is no need for any family to go out and purchase, largely it's the new sports uniform. We are looking at trying to integrate year 6 and into 7 to make sure that parents don't have to purchase another set of uniforms. So we are trying to keep them as consistent as we can from kindergarten right through to year 12 for the boys at least. But there will be some changes for that. As well as that, next year, the year 11 and 12 boys, they will be receiving or purchasing a one-off centenary tie. So at this stage, I'd ask parents of year 10 to hold off buying the ties. They should be available sometime during term 4. Certainly they won't be required to be worn till term 2 next year. So if you can hold off on purchasing the ties. And as I mentioned, there'll be some other subtle changes, but the current uniform will be fine for the next 18 months to 2 years until your child grows out of it. And obviously it'll be a transition with the new uniforms, and there'll be a little bit more information coming about that soon. In regards to the centenary, with this you'll also see the save the date, and I'd ask as many of you as possible to register, just so we can start to get an indication of numbers for the major events that will be happening next year. There'll also be an opportunity to buy some merchandise, and there'll be a flyer coming out about that probably early to mid next term for both male and female and children alike. So keep an eye out for those sorts of things as well. Can I just thank and recognise everybody who was involved last Wednesday with our Father's Day breakfast. Incredibly, about 1,200 people attended that, and then a number of people were able to stay on for our Feast of St Gregory Day Mass, and that was a beautiful service, and it was great to see our 2026 college leaders also announced at that time. And I congratulate and recognise those 8 boys, whilst recognising also the wonderful job that our current Year 12 leaders have done and will continue to do until they graduate in a few short weeks now. Just in regards to the building, the 2 different building projects we're going on at the moment, the senior school project is very much on track to be completed by the 10th of October, so that will be the start of next term. We'll then have an opportunity to refurnish that through the term 4 period, and we'll open that to the classes more likely at the beginning of next year. And with our junior school build, we are very much on track for a December finish there. We have fortnightly building meetings, and now the roof has gone on, there'll be no delays with weather. And so the building company are very, very confident that early December that will be handed to us, hopefully in time for the staff and some boys and some students to start getting that fitted out with the new furniture, and that will be ready for the start of our centenary 2026 year as well. Just finally, in a couple of weeks we've got our Year 12 graduation. It is a very, very special day, and I'd ask that all of us keep our Year 12 cohort in our thoughts and prayers as we build up to a significant milestone or a rite of passage for them on the last day of term. And just finally a reminder that the last day of term is Friday the 26th of September, and all students are expected to attend. At school there, obviously there's Mass will be at about 11:30 I think we're looking at. Then the boarding students are able to travel home so they can get home in daylight hours. But for the rest of us, with the exception of Year 12, it'll be a 3:05 finish. Anyway, have a great week, and thanks for your continued ongoing support for all things St Greg's. Thank you.
Hey everyone, really excited to share with you about our upcoming Junior School PYP exhibition. Our Year 6 students have been working hard all term, inquiring into projects and issues in our community that they are super passionate about, and they're really excited to be sharing and celebrating in all of their learning and all of the action that they've taken with you. That's coming up on Tuesday in week 10 on the 23rd of September at 6 p.m. So all of our junior school families have received one of their invitations that they've created themselves to invite you all to come along. There's no RSVP required, there's no dinner or anything like that, but it's a wonderful opportunity to come along and celebrate not just the learning of the Year 6 students, but the culmination of the journey of the PYP and how it finishes up in Year 6 with us here at St Gregory's College. I look forward to seeing you there.
Hi everyone. The junior school has been a really busy but wonderful place over the last few weeks. Lots of things have been happening and lots of wonderful events coming ahead. Last week we welcomed our fathers to celebrate Father's Day. It was a wonderful combined event with the junior school and the senior school dads. So a huge thank you to our wonderful volunteers who were able to make that morning a success. We also celebrated Book Week this week on Monday. Congratulations to all our families. The children looked amazing. There were so many wonderful creative costumes. Thursday, looking ahead, we have Year 5 celebrating a leadership day. So Year 5 will all get together on this day and look at what makes a great leader and hear from some very inspirational speakers. Last week, I took a group of students to Mater Dei for a community outreach program. This program has been running for the last few years, and our Year 5 students really enjoy going over to Mater Dei and spending time working with the students there. This will continue next week and into the next term. Monday and Tuesday next week, we will see Year 4 go into school camp. We're looking forward to celebrating that time with the students, being outside of the school environment and working with their friends. Wednesday, the 17th of September is the rescheduled date for the IPSO finals. So they were meant to be on the 10th of September, but they have been postponed and rescheduled. So looking forward to celebrating our wonderful IPSO teams on that day and looking forward to hearing some great results. That's all for now from the junior school. Looking forward to celebrating our successes and reaching out to you next time to let you know what's happening. Bye for now.
Hi everyone, Luke Morrissey here. Just a bit of a boarding update. It's a bit quieter on the hill at the moment as we head into between winter and summer sports seasons, and all of our boys at the moment are trying to get themselves organised for term 4 and their next sporting teams. The biggest announcements from me at the moment are just in relation to graduation. So as we approach graduation, can I just remind families of a few things? So the final Boarders Mass for our Year 12s this year is on Thursday the 25th of September. There'll be a cocktail party for the Year 12 parents and their sons after that final Mass. There'll also be some awards given out at that Mass. And then on Friday, the 26th of September, is the Year 12 graduation. Now, it's very common for our boarding families to try and get their sons home a bit earlier at the end of school holidays. Can I please remind you that all students are expected to be at graduation on Friday, the 26th. So if you're willing to travel down to watch the graduation, and I would encourage you to do that because it's an amazing event, we want that to be as packed and crowded as possible for a wonderful experience for our Year 12 graduating young men. You're welcome to take your son home after the conclusion of the graduation Mass, which is about 1 o'clock, 1:30 on the Friday. So we'll have your sons packed up, ready to go, and they'll be able to get straight in the car with you once that Mass concludes. If you can't get down there for that, then they will stay in Friday night, and transport has been arranged for them to head home on Saturday morning. So just a reminder, everyone is expected to be at that Mass. And we would like you to support us in doing that so that when your son gets to his graduation, whenever that is, that he also has a wonderful experience by having that Mass to be nice and full and loud and wonderful.
G'day, I'm Billy Corkhill. I'm a boarder at St Greg's from Bowen, and recently I was lucky enough to receive the Judith Green Memorial Award for Group 5. This reward goes to an individual that was fortunate enough to represent Group 5 at Sydney Show for various junior judging events, and this year I was lucky enough to receive it, and it was a really great experience and opportunity. I would just like to thank Miss Marnie for unwavering support to all our boys. She couldn't do it without her, and she puts a lot in the extras for us.
G'day, my name's Angus Pursehouse. I'm a boarder here at St Greg's from Marul in New South Wales on some cropping country out there. Recently I was lucky enough back in August to win the Primary Industries Vet Student of the Year for this area for the Wollongong Diocese, which was pretty exciting for me. Something that I've been pretty passionate about since a very young age. Coming off a farm, I've always loved the farming industry, the agricultural industry, especially cropping, as that's been our main focus. Earlier on in the year as well, back in June, I was lucky enough to be able to go up to Brisbane and compete at the National World Skills Competition in Brisbane, and was lucky enough to get second in the primary industry sector up there as well. I really think that ag is a great subject for students to learn. Gives a lot of people an insight into the agricultural industry, something that a lot of people aren't necessarily exposed to, especially up in this area that we find ourselves in. I found that it's another way, like even though I've come off a farm, I've really broadened and extended my knowledge doing agricultural from starting here in Year 9 all the way up to now in Year 12, still doing ag. And a really big thank you to Miss Marnie for all the opportunities she's given us, especially with all our showing cattle that we do, from Sydney to Scone, and all our local shows around this area. So a really big thank you to her and the school for giving us these opportunities.
What is the Tournament of the Minds?
The Tournament of the Minds is an international challenge where teams compete from around the world in various challenges. The tournament tests each team's teamwork and ability to work under pressure.
Can you explain to everyone our long-term challenge?
So our long-term challenge was based off of social science, and we had to build a recreational facility to help people with their lifestyle and for all ages. So we built a recreational facility, Cobbity, with a lot of different features and stuff.
What are you most excited for the state challenge?
I'm most excited to be able to show our teamwork and our capability to work within those 3 hours to show how much we've come along the way.
I wanna see if we can win.
Hardworking.
Testing.
Challenging.
Collaborative.
Combined effort, that's 2, but
Creative.
Teamwork.
In my group in Tournament of the Minds, we found making the costumes and making our backdrop was really fun and hard. But what we found a bit challenging was with our time limit, we couldn't finish everything, such as painting and making one last final touch to some of the costumes. They were really hard to make and took us weeks.
One thing we did find challenging was the fact that it was on a weekend. We do wish it could be changed to a weekday. However, the whole competition itself was excellent. We found it quite challenging, and it really did test our cooperative skills with our teammates, but also the working out on how we can solve the challenges.
And also we met a lot of new people while we were doing other stuff other than the competition.
I found it challenging because it was a really windy day and all the models were like flying everywhere, and I enjoyed it because it was like really fun and like you had an amount of time to like figure something out.
I would have liked it to be like not the act was shorter, but the day was a bit shorter and you had to come like an hour before your act, and that was spontaneous. And I liked it was good to be there.
I really enjoyed collaborating with everyone, and I made numerous number of new friends.
I enjoyed writing the scripts for my team and acting out the performance. And one thing that I found challenging was trying to get all the pieces together with the limited amount of time.
What I liked about Tournament of the Minds was creating and colouring in the shirts. We all was some good students. I was the man, Madam was the male assistant. And what I found challenging was staying in the wind on Saturday.
Hi, my name is Hudson. I'm from the senior school and I'm mentoring this young group as they have an exciting initiative.
Special Ties business are tire coats or jackets lying around just waiting for a chance to be put to good use. Well, our tie drive we are launching can help you with that.
As a part of our PYP group is running a tie drive to support members of our community. Our group is right in the middle of meticulously researching and planning for our PYP exhibition night on the 23rd of September, and our topic is economical burden and social injustice.
PYP project, we'll be running a tie drive to support the non-profit organisations that collect articles of business clothing, including coats, jackets, blouses, and of course ties. That will be put forward to the shops aisles in St. Vincent de Paul's Society. There will be baskets available for students to donate their ties in classrooms for the junior school and senior school.
The clothes will help members of our community who may be struggling financially or ones who may need some help to locate, keep or maintain jobs. It also helps those people feel a sense of belonging and justice. The tie drive will be open from Thursday, 4th of September until the 18th of September.
So, chat with dads, brothers, grandparents, and collect unwanted ties to help.
Make sure you don't miss a chance to help out our community recover from the effects of economic burden. Let's create a place that lets people feel welcome, making a true difference in someone's life today. We hope you have a great week, and we look forward to seeing the St. Greg's spirit shine in our community.
Bye.